This is good. We're off to a great start. This is right up my alley. Let's get into it. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is season 1, episode 1 of The Quad. We started off last week with the full 2-hour movie premiere. I said, okay. Then they had me hooked. And I said, well, come on, BET, let's see what you're going to do week 1. Well, week 1, baby, we rolling. This is right up my alley. Hey guys, really quickly, I have to add something because I gave you a list of folks who were actually doing the show last week. And I didn't tell you. Ashley Miller is actually doing it. So make sure you check out Ashley Miller's channel. Okay, on to the review. So we start right off. We see Cedric actually being removed from the school by the police. Of course, it's causing a whole, uproar. There's people saying, you know how people are. Well, did he do it? He doesn't look like he did anything. He doesn't look like he could do anything like that. Then you got another group of people. He probably did it, child. All of that business. You know how our folks are. And I felt so bad for him because he doesn't. The little child, he didn't commit the murder. He doesn't even have the luxury of grieving the loss of the girlfriend or even processing that the girlfriend's been killed because he's like literally the number one suspect. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So of course they were actually, people were gathering. Sydney had her ass out there. That's Sydney. She's going to make me want to yank her. I can just see that now. She's out there with her little roommate. And the roommate's saying, well, what are they waiting on? And she'll say, oh, of course they're waiting on Queen Eva. Like she talking about somebody else's mother. Bitch, that's your mother. Your mother is the president of the college. And you run around, first of all, you act like you ain't got no home training. Alcohol poisoning, sex, while being videotaped at a goddamn frat party. Really, Sydney? That's the equivalent of like the preacher's daughter giving head in the bathroom at the church. Anyway, so Eva gets there. Eva, when they come, of course they want to talk to the president, and she says, they immediately went in and was like, so are you upholding a murderer? And she's like, hey, hold it. These are our children here. Every person is innocent until proven guilty. And when Cedric came to this school as a student, he chose us and we chose him right back. It was an equal process. And we will stand behind him until he's proven guilty. But up until that, he's one of our children. I said, come on through, Eva. Come on through. So I was like, this is a mess. Shortly thereafter, she had that old little thing go on. She's in her office. Here comes Carlton Petticoat. The band director's bitch. He come in there with his little iPad and shows her about this is an opportunity to, I guess to kiss their ass so they don't expose her. Pictures of Sydney doing her due at the frat party. And Eva basically told him, you know what, threats with me, I don't really get into all that. That shit don't blow my hair back. She told him really nicely, you want my job? Why don't you just take an honest run at it? That's right. You did take an honest run at it, but they hired me. She said, so I'm going to take this opportunity to go to the ladies' room. I said, girl, you better pay him dust. She gave him, honey. I'm going to pay you, honey. Get on out of here. She marched right on off with a bad shoe and a cute dress. I said, girl, yes, ma'am, Eva. Went on about her business. While in the bathroom, the water went off. We seen like all school-wide, the whole university's water went off. So at this point, her assistant had come in. And the assistant and her, they've had like a really strange relationship up to this point. Like, she don't really talk to her very much. She just kind of is there. You know what I mean? They hadn't had like a real girls bonding situation. And I think this was actually their time to bond. And it was good to see. She, right while they were in that bathroom, it happened just that fast. She basically let her know, bitch, you know, you ain't got to do all that with me, bitch. I got your back. It is what it is. She told her, she said, how does this happen? How does a whole university's water get shut off? And she said, well, I mean, you know, you made an arrangement. She said, I made an arrangement. This, that, the other. She said, well, the bill was, you know, it was just really messed up. It's been messed up for a while. She said, it was rhetorical. Like, I didn't ask you to say anything. It was rhetorical. And she said, how could this happen? And she said, well, what I can do, I can go out and I could create an email and send it university-wide and let them know that there's been a water line break and that we're working on it, and that'll give you a few hours to try to figure something out. And she went to say something. She said, it's rhetorical. That was rhetorical as well. And she looked at her, and the girl moment happened, honey. Bitch, you ain't got to do me, bitch, because I'll do you right back. But I got your back, bitch. I said, okay. So I laughed at that. I thought that was really cool. And I seen, you know what I mean? So now she got another ally. You know, she got Jasmine Guy on her side, and you got you a damn good assistant on your side that's going to go to bat for you. So I said, come on, this is good shit. Good shit. So she went and did what she had to do. Later on, we actually found out that what she ended up doing, she went into her bank account and took $150,000 out and paid the fucking water bill. Said, all right, Eva. All right, we'll see. So in the meantime, between time, we got Bryce, which is Cedric's roommate. And all while Bryce was being escorted out, Bryce was trying to call Cedric's mother, you know, because they've kind of bonded, you know. And Bryce's dad actually ended up coming up to the college. He's a lawyer. He actually owns his own law firm. And his dad was completely opposite of what I thought his dad was going to be. His dad was so shady. And he basically told his son, distance yourself from him. He's a thug. He's nothing but a thug. He ain't came from shit. He ain't got shit. He ain't never going to be shit. He's never going to amount to be shit. You need to distance yourself from him. Your name is already on a fucking building. Your future's already laid out. Fuck him. I'm paraphrasing, but baby, that's what he had to say. And his son went there and told him, no. You're the one who actually taught me the difference between a good lawyer and a great lawyer. And a great lawyer looks in and sees the good in people and want to help them. I'm standing with him. I know he didn't do this, and you need to help him. You know? I said, okay, so his dad, you know, took what he had to say, and he walked on off. Next time we see this dad, honey, that motherfucker had to ease his old black ass on down there to the jail to see Cedric. I said, okay, good. So here's some light at the end of the tunnel. Because right before that, Cedric was sitting there, and he actually had a flashback of when he was a little boy, and his mom, it was his birthday, and him and his mom was there. Shout out to Demetria McKinney. This is a good look, Demetria. Girl, you done came from trying to get a musical career because she could sing her goddamn face off. Don't get it twisted. She's just singing ass. And you can hear a little bit when she was singing Happy Birthday, but she can really sing. She's gone from that to she was on one season of the she was on for 2 seasons, but really on like a cast person for one season of the Atlanta Housewives. And she has actually gone on and she has an actual reputable role. She has a main role, starring role as an actress, a legit actress. She did some stuff with Tyler Perry too. But this right here is like a main role. She's one of the main characters. She is Cedric's mother. This is a good look for Demetria McKinney, and she is doing very well with the part. So, and I'm only 3 hours into this, but she's doing really, really well standing up here with this cast of folks. I mean, Anika Noni Rose, Sean Blakemore, Jasmine Guy, on and on and on. This is a good look for Demetria. Okay, I got off topic, so boom. Congratulations, Demetria. Keep it up. Keep up the good work, honey. It's all going to bust up for you sooner or later. So she was actually doing a cake for him, singing happy birthday, and shots rang out. She had to dive to the floor. You know that whole experience. It was a drive-by shooting. She had to dive to the floor. The cake got knocked over. Just fucked up the whole goddamn birthday party like they do in the ghetto, the bastards. But she was telling him, you see why I tell you, you come straight home from school. We don't hang out outside at nighttime. And this, that, thing, the other. She's telling him, you're so smart. You were doing crossword puzzles when you were in kindergarten, and I just cannot allow the streets to get a hold to you. I understand. That's how I felt about my boys. And she said, and you will never see the inside of a jail. Well, so much for that part. But anyway, so he was going through that. Then he went and he seen Mr. Richardson, which is Bryce's dad. And I'm like, okay, good. And he literally just started spitting to him. It was real ghetto. Do you even have a father? Like, everybody got a father. My father died when I was young, very young. But everybody has a father. And he's going on and he's like, he didn't even soften none of it. He was, I ain't got time for you. Told him, I'm not your father. I ain't got no help for you. I see you as a thug. I don't think you're going to ever go nowhere. The only sheet I ever see your name on is a rap sheet. It is what it is. And Cedric basically got up and smacked the shit off the table and told him, you ain't shit. You know that? You ain't shit. I said, no, the fuck he ain't. And I didn't understand why he took his rotten ass down there. If this is all you had to say, or this is all you had to offer, why did you even go there? Why did you even come? Patty as hell. I was mad at him. I wanted to smack the shit out of him with one of them chairs. But I was like, ooh, that's that shit. That old hateful, mean-spirited shit. Like, what was the whole purpose of that? Why did you even go there? Chai had me heated. Fucker. Anyway, so after that, we actually got Eva and Sydney. Sydney's attitude is so nasty. So nasty. Our mother, she calls her, she says, your dad's coming in. It's going to be good. Well, the family, we're going to have dinner. She was like, yeah, whatever. What? Nasty. Very, very nasty. And she was just rude. And she was like, okay. And went on from there. Got off the phone. Eva actually was in a car ride with... Oh, wait, let me go back. There was a phone call that she actually made to a woman named Cara, white woman. And we didn't get a whole bunch of information about Cara, but I take it as she's somebody that she used to work with who was probably in one of those positions where they were kind of, equal, and Cara was really gloating. And she basically said to Eva, like real smug, everybody knows why you got fired. And she's like, well, I'm really not at liberty to talk about my, separation of why I left. She's like, everybody knows you didn't leave. You got fired. Everybody knows you only took that job where you're at because you couldn't get a job nowhere else because you were the president of an Ivy League school and you like sleeping with your students. I said, oh, she's terrible. And she basically told her, oh, well, I got to go. And when she got that phone, hung up the phone, she's like, oh, bitch. So I said, she's going to get her. She's going to get her. We'll find out more about her later, I'm sure. But she's going to get her, and I'll be so here for it. The coach actually overheard her call a woman a bitch. And him and her said they got to go for a ride. So they went for a ride. They actually were talking while they were in the car. And he told her, I overheard you call someone on your phone a bitch. And she's like, yeah. So she didn't want to go into it with him, but she did. He basically shared with her in that ride that he has 2 daughters, that his wife left, and he's raised the 2 daughters. She's like, I didn't know that. He's like, because I don't share that with everybody. And I said, again, we're seeing the coach got a little thing for Eva, but whatever. So she did end up opening up a little bit. She's like, my daughter's my everything. And when they had their little exchange, she told her, I'm not usually that short with my daughter when I talk to her. She said, but my daughter, I don't understand. She's at this age, she's just doing this thing, and she's like, she was just asleep in my bed. So she had alcohol poisoning a few days ago, and she been sleeping in my bed, and she's just like a little angel. And today the bitch is back, you know. And she's like, you'll get to that. You'll see what I'm talking about. He's like, no, I never will see what you're talking about. Like, I'll fuck my daughters up with that shit. So would I. So they actually had that little thing go on. So then they get to the place where they're going. She's like, what is this? He's like, it's a gentleman's club. And they go in to meet Mr. Briggs. And Mr. Briggs is very arrogant and crass, but he owns a chain of gentlemen's clubs, and he also has a couple other businesses. And GAMU is actually his alma mater. Okay, but with his type of business, they're snooty. They don't even accept his money with their broke asses. Okay, so they go through all that. And he's been snubbed by them so many times that he just has that wall up. But him and the coach are cool. They're cool. So coach brings her out there. They're sitting there. She said, don't you have an office? He's like, no, we sit here and talk. And she was telling him, this, that, thing, and the other. And, she says, I apologize for any wrong behavior that's actually taken place before I got on board with administration, but things are going to be different, this, that, and the other. So he says, oh, okay, so you're willing to take my money. And she's like, of course, sure, I'm a monitor, blah, 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 blah. We definitely appreciate anything that you do. That motherfucker told her, as he had already told her, girl, you is fine. And she is, nigga bad. Told her, you can come on over here and put your hand in my pocket, and whatever you find, you can have. Baby. And this was after she had told him, we were going to name a building after you, and that we're positioned to actually name a building after you and everything because of things that you have done in the past. This, that. He said that she got up and gave him, you know what, honey? I don't know who you thought you was talking to. She said maybe they weren't wrong about you. But I am not that girl, and don't you dare talk to me like that. I'm paraphrasing again, honey. And she gave him her motherfucking back and a back view of them badass heels she had on and marched the fuck on out and told the coach, let's hit it. And she left. Went about her business. Later on, let's keep this in order. So that's that. So she left there, and the coach was like, damn, you done fucked that up. So they go on out. Next, we actually have Cedric. His mother has finally gotten there, and then a lawyer as well. They're meeting, her mother naturally asks them, are you okay? This, that, thing, and the other. And very shortly into the conversation, he tells the lawyer, I am not taking a plea. I didn't do this. And I'm not taking a plea. I didn't do anything. His mother got pissed, and she told him, I gotta go. She said, I gotta go. She said, because I can't miss hours of work. I gotta get you a real lawyer. You're gonna say, you don't have to insult me. She said, insult you? You're not a real lawyer. You actually try to talk him into taking a plea for a crime he said he didn't commit. She said, I'll get in touch with you. I gotta go. I gotta work. So she goes on out. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So Cedric's just having a rough time. I'm like, this is fucked up. So after that, let me just throw this in. Cedric's spirit is just being beat down. Just being beat down. And basically facing the fact that, you have this world where people think you ain't shit and that ain't even who you are. So Eva actually showed up to come and see him, and she went to tell him, we're going to get you a lawyer. And he's basically telling her, he's like, you ain't her, you ain't part of my future. Can't nobody help me. And here his face was messed up. He got into a fight with somebody. I'm like, oh, jeez. So his spirit's kind of beat down. So I don't know what's going to go on with that. But Evil, she'll go back in and try to do something with him. But that just was all fucked up. And then I'm gonna tell you about where she got some of the money from. Okay, so just deal. All right, so I haven't talked about that motherfucker Cecil yet, the band director Cecil. He was actually doing a rehearsal, and it was a kind of a mess. So then they started right on the spot having this competition for the first chair, and there was one guy who said yes, he wanted to go. He wanted to compete for the first chair. It was a girl that was there. Then got to another guy said no. Got to Noni, and Noni said yes. And the leader of the band, he jumped in there. He just has a thing about Noni, especially when he knows everything. Noni knows everything that happened with Ebony. So he's like, I don't want her. And so him and Cecil go off to the side, and he told Cecil, he's like, I don't want her going for first chair, especially when she got into my band through a back door. And Cecil said, you mean my band, right? Went on back over. They had the competition. When I tell you Noni literally smashed them, she smashed them. And that's the thing with her, she's a bit of an opportunist as well, and she's very arrogant as well, but whatever. So that will be good for the Cecil because they're a lot alike. But he ended up making Noni the first chair. I said, okay, but now I want to see if the band director's going to fuck you up the way they fucked up Ebony. I'll be watching. Anyway, so moving on from there. Right after they did that, Cecil was standing there and Eva walked up, baby. And Eva went up and just told him, I just wanted to, she said, I have been sending you messages. That motherfucker told her, I thought for sure I had blocked you. I said, oh, he is just too much. She said, you know what? I need to let you know, if you're even thinking about coming after my daughter, that ain't something you want to do. Because I promise you, one of us is going to be jobless. It ain't going to be me. It's not going to be me. You better leave me and my child alone. I said, okay, honey. They got to going back and forth and talking about the end of the world and all that and how the devil is going to show up and their world's going to end. And she said, and then just which one of the girls are going to fight their way out? I said, girl, you better stop it, Miss Eva. Honey, she got them so thoroughly together and went on, honey, and marched on off and again gave him the back of her badass shoes as she walked away, honey. I said, go ahead, girl. So after that, we have Sydney's dad shows up. So Sydney, Eva, and the dad, Derek, they're all supposed to be sitting down to dinner. So they're telling, her, this is what the plan is. This is what you're going to do. You're going to write an open letter to the school, and you're going to start in with a foundation that's actually helping young women to limit their consumption and handle themselves better when it comes to alcohol and underage drinking and all of this. You're going to turn this shit around into a positive. Her dad came down with the Olivia Pope shit, okay? And of course, Eva was on board. Honey, she got all smart with them, baby, and marched on off and left. And Eva said, why do you let her do that? Why do you always let her just walk off like that? Like her attitude is just got to be ridiculous. And he's like, he was being all smug. He said, well, she needed to go because we need to talk anyway. Why is it that there's $150,000 missing out of our joint account? And she was like, yeah, and he said, oh, so is this the part where you tell me that being as though you're the one that brought the most money into the relationship that you can do whatever you want with our money? And she's like, it was for a good cause, Derek. And he's like laughing, and then she ended up telling him, I'm paying. I took that money out to pay the school's water bill. He's laughing at her because he doesn't believe her. He's like, tell me anything, but whatever. And she's like, you don't understand. She went the fuck off. Start telling him about what's going on, within the school and how they fight her, and it's just a mess, and it's just terrible. She don't even know how to help him, and this, that, the other. And he kind of like broke, like, oh shit. And he comes over and he hugs her, and he's like, you're going to fix it like you always fix everything. It is what it is. Don't worry about it. You're going to fix this like you always do. Honey, he got to hugging her. And next thing you know, honey, he could be up on her like that. Honey, he got to kissing her. And I said, Miss Eva, girl, what is you doing, honey? Next thing I know, baby, she done busted wide open, and he was busting it wide open. I said, girl, Miss Eva gets it in. You hear me? And the husband ain't too shabby, honey. Girl, child, listen here. Tell you something. I try to be decent, honey. But between the husband and the creep tip, hey, I'll be a hoe just like her. Hey, I'll be busting it open every other seat. I said, Lord have mercy, Miss Eva, girl, what you got going on? What you got going on? Child, so that was that. Honey, they had slept together, and they allowed each other to marry. So, thank you. China got just as tickled. Anyway, that's a mess, honey. You done fucked up your marriage, honey. But the husband's so fat that you just gotta fuck him a little bit here and there. Just call us. Child, yes, God, honey. Anyway, so he was telling her, when we first got together, it was like, everything was everything, and how sex just always made everything better. But, we're not good. So it ain't making everything better. He got up and laughed. I said, girl, you should have popped back a couple times more at it because he's out of order. But he went on and he laughed. And of course, that left her kind of sad. But girl, at least she got a little hit at him before he went. Anyway, so after that, she went back to the gentleman's club a couple days later and seen Mr. Briggs. This time, Mr. Briggs was talking like he had some sense. And he told her, I know about how you spent your own personal money on that water bill for that college, which is my alma mater. And I know you're not from the South, and I know you came from money, but for you to have that type of passion toward an alma mater that's not even yours means you're serious. And I like that. Said that school changed my life. No matter how they view me or how they try to treat me, that school changed my life. That business degree I have changed my life. My parents were hustlers. I have legitimate businesses. It changed my life. And he said he gave her a check for $250,000. Baby, Miss Eva sat there. She said, I thank you for your generosity. I said, girl, don't you bust it wide open for him. But then I'm looking, remember, it's Jason from The Game. Y'all remember The Game from BET, honey. I won't be mad at Eva if she busted open for him too. But anyway, she didn't. She didn't. That's me being trifling. She didn't. She's like, thank you, and she went on and she got on up out of here. That's after that is when she went to actually see. She got her money back to put back, plus she has this extra $100,000. So she was like I said, she went to see Cedric and told him, we're gonna help you get a lawyer. And Cedric's off on some fuck shit. So that's kind of where we ended at. So I am enjoying this immensely. This is a good show. The writing is really, really good. I have nothing bad to say. I am excited about going forward with this. Can't wait until next week, and I'll see you guys there. All right.